Would you believe this bread was never kneaded? Yet it comes out incredibly soft every single time and stays fresh for days. Just simple ingredients and an easy method anyone can follow. If you love easy homemade bread, you're going to love this recipe. Let's get started. If you're looking for an easy bread recipe, this might be the perfect one for you. For this recipe, I'm using 480 grams of bread flour. That's about 16.9 ounces. If you don't have bread flour, don't worry. You can easily use all-purpose flour. The bread will still turn out soft and delicious. For the liquid, I'm using a combination of milk and water. Since it's winter here, both are lukewarm. The liquid should feel slightly warm, not hot. If you're making this during summer, room temperature or cold milk and water work perfectly. Now add 1.5 teaspoons of instant dry yeast, about 4.5 to 5 grams. Today I'm using 1 tablespoon of honey. It adds a mild sweetness and keeps it soft a little longer. If you prefer, simply replace it with the same amount of sugar. Next, add some extra virgin olive oil. I love using olive oil because it gives the bread a wonderful flavor and helps keep the crumb soft and moist. Now whisk everything together until well combined. Once that's ready, pour the liquid into the flour. Using a spatula or dough whisk, mix until there is no dry flour left. Don't worry if the dough looks sticky. In fact, that's exactly what we're looking for. The dough should be soft and slightly sticky. If yours feels too dry, add a teaspoon or 2 of liquid. If it feels extremely wet and runny, sprinkle in a little extra flour. Every flour absorbs moisture a little differently, so don't be afraid to make small adjustments. Once the dough comes together, cover the bowl. Let the dough rest for 30 minutes. This resting time allows the flour to fully absorb the liquid. After 30 minutes, come back and take a look. You can already see the dough becoming smoother. Now lightly wet your hands. Instead of kneading, we'll strengthen the dough with stretch and folds. Pick up one side, stretch it gently upward, then fold it over, rotate the bowl, and repeat. Continue all the way around until you've stretched and folded each side once. Stretch gently and let the gluten develop naturally. Cover the bowl again and let it rest for another 30 minutes. Each round takes just about 2 minutes. That's it. The rest of the time the dough is simply resting and developing on its own. Now ready for the second round. Can you see the difference already? The dough feels smoother, stronger, and much less sticky. Repeat exactly the same process. Stretch, fold, rotate. Simple. That's all you need. Cover again, and let it rest for another 30 minutes. For even better flavor, cover the dough after the second round of stretch and folds and refrigerate it overnight. The slow rise gives better flavor. Now it's time for the third and final stretch and fold. The dough feels silky smooth. It stretches beautifully without tearing. That's a sign the gluten has developed naturally. Cover the bowl one last time and let it rise for 45 minutes to 1 hour. Look at this. The dough has risen beautifully. Gently press it down to release the large air bubbles. Then divide it into 3 equal pieces. Now let's shape them. Lightly flatten each piece using a rolling pin. Next, fold both sides toward the center. Starting from one end, roll the dough up tightly into a log. This creates good surface tension, which helps the loaf rise higher and gives it a beautiful shape after baking. Finally, pinch the seam closed. This style shaping technique creates a finer crumb, better oven spring, and a beautiful loaf. Place each piece into your prepared loaf pan. Cover the pan and let the dough proof again until it's noticeably puffy. Depending on your kitchen temperature, this usually takes 45 to 60 minutes. While the dough is proofing, preheat your oven. I'm baking in a fan-forced convection oven at 165 degrees Celsius. If you're using a conventional oven, bake at 180 degrees Celsius. Just before baking, brush the top with a light egg wash. This gives the bread that beautiful golden color and glossy finish. Bake for about 30 minutes or until the loaf is deep golden brown. Just look at this bread. The aroma is incredible. Perfect for breakfast, sandwiches, or simply with a little butter. Even better, this bread stays fresh for several days when stored in an airtight container. If you enjoyed this recipe, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Give this recipe a try and let me know in the comments how it turned out. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you here for more soft, fluffy, homemade bread recipes. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.